Today, I want us to figure out, I want to bring out one issue in particular, so that we can be able to deal with this particular issue. And it is about the name Nigeria. Because a lot of people, some people must have come across this name, Nigerians, so many people, But what is the origin? What they told people, they thought, a lot of people in school, that Nigeria, when you hear the word Nigeria, that it comes from, from the word, from the river Niger. The word Nigeria came from the river Niger or something like that. This is all pure fabricated lies. And some people, they say, that name is just a name which was given or something like that, by the British flora or so. How? No. This name has a deep meaning. And the deep meaning of this name, they will not let the people know exactly. Now, I want to bring this thing to light, to people who can be able to grasp what I'm about to say. Now, when you look around, you see that there is so much, when you look around, you see the population of the people, the black people, let me just put it, the Negroes who are outside, who are moving different places. You see that there's a lot of population of, there's a lot of, large number of Nigerians abroad, anywhere, around everywhere where you almost everywhere where you move around. Okay, but then ask yourself, why is it this way? And why is it that history about the term Nigeria has been hidden from the Nigerians? Not only from the Nigerians, but from every other person who is around, who has no historic background, the true historic background of where those names come from. So, like I said, clear your mind of whatsoever you've heard about Nigeria. For example, the origin of the word Nigeria. Let's focus these words today, Nigeria, for me to show you from a different perspective what the term Nigeria really and truly really means. Now, I remember what they said, that Flora was the one that gave the name Nigeria. And she gave, she was the one that brought the idea to give Nigeria the name Nigerians. But ask yourself, what name were Nigerians bearing before this name was instituted, before they gave Nigerians this name Nigeria? Now, I'm going to take you a little bit backward to history, a true history which has been, which has been researched privately. When you go to an ancient map which was mapped out during the time of 15th centuries, you're going to identify and see that before there was a place called West Coast of Africa, West Africa. That place was originally called what? Negro Land. And before it was called Negro Land, those areas were called what? Were called Kingdom of Judah or Waida. Kingdom of Waida, or kingdom of, some call it kingdom of Waida, some call it Kingdom of Judah. I'm talking about what is today, the area which you people call today West Africa. It was never, before this time, it was never called West Africa. West Africa, the name West Africa just came up recently, and they are doing it to hide the original name. So now we're going to somewhere. So now the name West Africa came to replace the original name which the people who are living there were bearing, which is the Negro Land. Now that Negro Land is the area which was used by the Romans to identify a particular people who are living in that area. This is why they marked that area and they call it Negro area, and they call it also Negro Land, telling you that the people who occupy this area of land are what? Are Negroes. So by doing that, they are by giving that area Negro Land or Negro area, what they are automatically doing is they are identifying the people who are living in this area with that name, Negro area or Negro Land. And when you go to the ancient map, which was, the map which was mapped during the time of 16th centuries or 15th centuries, you are going to see that the map clearly shows that those people who were living in that area were called what? That area which is called West Africa today were called Negro area. So now, what happened? It was after they started, the Westerners, let me just say the Romans, they started, the Westerners, all of them, they started coming to us. Now they started doing what? Demarcating, to divide those areas. Before, there was nothing like Cameroon. There was nothing like Niger. Niger is the Niger, what they call Niger. You see it is just rightly located above Nigeria. So now there was nothing before this time, before this place was called West Africa. There was no division. So these areas were called what? Were collectively called what? Negro area by what? By the Romans. So they used that term Negro area to identify the Negroes who are living in that area. So now, get something. I was reading a Bible dictionary one certain time. I still got one of it, and it is Zondervan Bible Dictionary or so. Then I went under the term Ham, and they said something there. They said Ham became the progenitor of the dark races or something like that, But he said something, but not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, the Ethiopians, the Libyans, the Canaanites, and so. So now he said that Ham became the ancestors of what? Of the dark races, but not the Negroes. That is to say, they were telling you in that particular passage, in that particular place, that Ham is not the ancestor of who? Of the Negroes. Then that means, and now when you see, you now know that the Romans, they gave the Negro, these people who are living in the west coast of Africa, they gave the people that area the name Negro land or Negro area to identify the people who were living in this part of the world, that they are what? They are Negroes. So what happened is, they have seen that the people who are living there are going to be much more powerful if they should be left the same. In that group of people, they might one day, have a king that will rule the whole of Negro land. So they say, no, they won't leave these people like that. What they are going to do is, they are going to demarcate them, and then, because when you divide them, when you cause commotions and divide them, you are going to have more powers. And this is why they did what? They demarcated the whole, they started doing what? Putting divisions, problem. They created different countries out of what? Negro land. And when they did it, they have Cameroon, Ghana, Nigeria, Niger, Gambia, Mali, just Burkina Faso, and so on and so forth of them, Senegal and so on, Liberia. So now when they did this, they know exactly what they were doing, because they never wanted the Negro people, now the Negro land, now to come together and have a king over themselves. So what they did is, they now demarcated they cause confusion and bring division among these people. So, but then something happened. They left the largest portion of the people. Now they brought them together. They joined their heads together now, and they called them what? Nigeria. Telling you that these people who are called Nigerians are the same brothers who are in this area. Nigeria is a two word which means Negro area. This same word Negro area, meaning that the people who are living in this area are called what? Are the Negroes. So now, not only that, when you check the capital city of Cameroon, it is called Yaoundé. Yaoundé in the Hebrew means what? Is a French word which means what? Judah. And not only that, it means Judah. In the Hebrew, it means what? It means Yahudah. So that is telling you that the people who are living there are originally what? The people who are called what? The children of Israel. But they don't want to give the children of Israel who they are. The clue of who they are. So this is why they have been changing different names. They've been changing from Negro land to West Africa, from West Africa to Nigeria. So now the terminology, the origin of the word Nigeria is two words involved, Niger and air. So air is what? Is a prefix. It's something that was added. So now when you check the word nigger or negro means what? That word nigger means black. And now they did what? They combined these people. They are telling you that these people who are now living in this, the most populated nation, the most populated black nation in the continent of Africa at this time, is what? Is Nigeria. But then they are trying to cause what? They are trying to cause division between you and your other brothers. They are trying to separate you from your other brothers, because before they even called us Nigerians, we were what? We were Negro land. That is to say, our own area move far beyond the what is today's called the west coast of Africa. I mean, somebody getting what I'm saying. So now we are being called Nigerians for a simple reason, because they know that the people who are living in that area are what? Are the Negro people. And these Negro people are what is, these are the people who are called what? The Hebrew people. Now they use that name, Nigeria or Negro area, to further hide the identity of who these people are. Shalom. Today I'm going to talk about, the union between the name Nigeria. Because I was talking about the other video where I stopped, and today I'm going to continue, even to it, to make it part 3 about this union, this forced union that the British, by the name of Flora, by the name of the goddess of flower, whose name is Flora, concocted, through the British, because she is nothing but what? That Flora of a thing is nothing but what? But the goddess of flowers. And this is what people do not understand. Now, that term Nigeria was being made in order to do what? In order to forcefully force the Hebrew people to go into what? Into a union, contrary to what? To their agreement, contrary to what they want to. It's just like forcing somebody to do what? To be in marriage with somebody. This is a rape. Now, the British are forcing Flora Show. The British are forcing the goddess of flower to be in union. That is, the British, they are doing what? They are forcing their own self, the goddess of flower, to be in a union with what? With the Negroes, who are the Hebrews. This is why they termed it, nigger, because nigger is the word that was used to do what? To identify who the Hebrew people are. The Hebrew people are what? Are the people who they call the niggers. Because when you go to Zondervan, it tells you that very clearly, that that the Negroes are not what? They are not from him. They are not Hampshire. They are not from there. That they are different. So now the people, what they used to identify the Negroes are what? And the Hebrew people are with the Negroes. And now you see that term nigger when you go into the book of Acts of Apostles, chapter number 13. The Bible says in the book of Acts of Apostles, chapter number 13, that there was a man whose name is what? Simon, who is called what? Who is called nigger, Niger. And now this Niger, they called him nigger. Why? Because they knew he was what? He is a Hebrew. He's a Hebrew. So now they use that term nigger to identify a certain people. So now what happened? They added the same name. They added Aya even to it. IA. And that IA was the name, was the two word that they used to add to nigger to form the term Nigeria. And now what happened is, when you check the etymology of the term IA, what you are going to discover is this term IA, the individual, the deity that is behind this IA, just as the Negroes are behind the term nigger, the IA, which is a suffix to nigger, the individual that is behind this IA is what? Is the goddess of what? Of flower, whose name is what? Is Flora. So what is happening here is we are seeing a people trying to do what? Trying to force, or trying to do what? Trying to force the Negroes into what? Into an unholy marriage. And And that is why you see that there was war, during the time of Biafran war. Because now the niggers, who are the Hebrew people, the Negroes, do not want that union with this woman. Now I'm talking about what? I'm talking about that woman that is behind the term IA. This woman that is behind this term IA is what is Flora, which is the goddess of what? Which is the goddess of what? Of flowers. And now this woman, they were the ones that did what? She was the actual one that named, that coined. When you check the origin, the etymology, the history of that name, Nigeria, the woman that coined the name Nigeria, she's been called Flora. And because of this, she's what? This woman is the goddess. She is the god. Her husband is called what? Is called Lord. And she is what? Is the goddess. Her husband is called Lord. Does that sound something to you? Her husband is called Lord Luga. This is what they call him. And the wife is what? Is a goddess. So now what happened is this woman is trying to force the niggers, that is the Negroes, to go into what? Into an unruly relationship. And this is what has happened. And this is the reason why the niggers, those people who are behind Negroes, who are the Hebrew people, do not want this union. So they fought they fought to do what? To saccade. They fought to go away from this union at during the time of Biafran war. But it's just like something that because it was something that was forced on them, so they wanted to go away from it. But it was not that time yet for them to go out from it. And now it is coming back, to APAC. Why? Because it is high time for what? For these Negroes to do what? To saccade, because they know this woman Aya, the goddess that is behind Aya, they know that if the Negroes can be able to do what? To saccade from this unruly marriage or unruly union, then that means that is going to be the fall of the whole Western world. Because now because the nigger is what? Is the male child. The Negro is the male child, whereas IA, which is the suffix, is the female. So the female was the one forcing herself into what? Into this union with what? With the Negroes. And the Negroes, who are the male child, do not want this union. So now the Negroes want to do what? They want to saccade, they want to leave, And this is what is going to bring this is why the Western world do not want this to be. Because this is going to be, the Negroes are going to be the male child. And this male child is going to be what is going to open up the eyes of the whole of the continent of Africa. Because all this while that they have been under this woman, the Aya is what? Is Flora. Flora is being, is the goddess of the flower. You get it? Because when you go deep into this, you will now know the reason why. Even they tell you that name was a coined name. It was something that was actually invented on purpose in order to do what? In order to hide the true identity of somebody. And because of these people, they know what they are perpetuating with this name. They know where they are going to. They are bringing an unruly union. And this time is the time for that union to do what? To break. Because the people, the male child definitely had to do what? Had to go. Now when the male child goes, that is the end of this female. That is what this is the end of them all. Because what? Because they are doing what? They have been using through this woman. They have been extracting. They have been taking the energy that belongs to what? To the male child. So now the male child is what is about to saccade. So, and this is why you see that what? At the time when as soon as the Negroes now saccade, as soon as they leave this union, as soon as they leave this union, this is going to be the end of the so-called British colonization in the whole continent of Africa. Not only in Africa, worldwide. Because the only people that are going to give them tough time are the male child. And they know exactly who the male child is. They know exactly who the male child is. This is why they are forcing themselves to be in the union with the male child. And the male child do not want them. But But they are always forcing themselves to be in the union. They don't want to go directly, they go through the corner. They coined that name. And they use that name. Since they've coined that name, what happened? They've been perpetuating so much evil through that. You get it? And they use it to do what? To blindfold people while perpetuating their evil. I mean, somebody, you need to get it, I'm here to let you know, that the male child is what is already. They've seen a lot of things that is happening in the galaxies. They've seen that the dead stars are being they are rising. That there's something happening on the cosmos, my dear brothers and sisters. You get it? They know that the rise of the male child, the birth of the male child is the end of them all. The woman is afraid. They are trembling. This is why you see a lot of people the Western world are trying to kick against the sovereign nation of Biafra, because this is the male child. This is the male child that is going to stand on its own. You get it, somebody, you need to get this. I need to bring this out, because this is something that has been in me. I need to do what? I need to give you this deep revelation of what is happening. That coined name Nigeria has expired. The term where you see Niger and Aya is two words. The Negroes are the Hebrew people who are behind the term nigger. And now Ia, which is Aya, the etymology, the origin, the one behind that Aya is the goddess of flower, whose name is Flora. And she's the one that tried to use her, because that name Aya is what is a suffix to nigger. It was forced on it. Just the way it happened spiritually. This is what is happening in this physical world. That is why I'm here to do what? To expose and show you people what has happened. I know where I'm coming from, and I know why we are here, my dear, my listeners. So this union has expired. So what happened is this union has to do what is finished. So now the Hebrew people who are behind these Negroes, they had to go. This is why you see what? Soon there will be no more existence of the so-called term Nigeria to be imposed on the Hebrews. Because now they are what? They are out. They are out of what? Out of that union. And now they do what? They get married to what? To the woman from Africa. That is Afra. This is why you get the name Biafra. That is to say, when they succeed from this union of Aya, they are going to get married to what? To Afra. And Afra is meaning what? A woman from Africa. I know what I'm telling you.